your ball in the trees and then you live out the putt. But if you've got a little time, then come and spend it with us, 'cause now you're listening to the Rough Cut.
Hello, and welcome down to another episode of the Rough Cut Golf Podcast, where we have a fun and fact-filled adventure into the world of golf coming at you for episode 95. And we have a full panel of experts in their field. We have David Barwise, who's come swiftly from the other room with words of wisdom to sprout into your ears. We have Jacob Broadbridge, Kieran Mulhall, and myself. We're just basically...
We didn't get...
no. Well, I was kind of thinking that we're doing it for a while now.
Yeah.
We're doing it for a while. We're a symbiote compared to David. Like, we have enough knowledge between us to compete with David.
At least David has people saying they want him back. We just get...
We just get put.
We're there.
This is like a 3-on-1. Do you know that MMA match with Eddie Hall against those two really small people?
Yeah.
That's basically what this is. It's us three against David.
Sure. He's brought a notepad and a pen.
He has literally brought a notepad and a pen.
Literally haven't made a single
But that's
note.
the thing, not with notes, to make notes.
Yeah.
To make notes.
So I don't know what we're going to do that's going to...
This is more a learning experience for
Is
me
this an
than
audit?
Yeah,
this like-
basically. It's like
a stock take.
It's like,
Are we being reviewed? What's going on?
it's like Mick's final words to me before he went away were, it's like, look after the podcast while you're away and make sure that Kieran doesn't do anything dodgy. So if you see me scribble anything down...
One of those two things has
As soon
happened.
as Kieran starts talking, you're going to hop in the pen.
There we go.
Stop writing.
In this episode, we have the LIV and the PGA Chiefs playing together. Alfred Dunhill bringing golf together one shot at a time. Tyrrell Hatton winning the Alfred Dunhill at the home of golf again. He just simply cannot stop winning there. And also Scotland's best golfer slams the country's most iconic hole, which I thought was quite fun. We will get into all of that and much, much more. But first of all, let's have about the chat. So Mick is not here this week. That is because he got married at the weekend. Congratulations, Michael and Lauren, on a beautiful day in rural Leicestershire. It was fantastic. I remember almost none of it. I had to look through the photos the next morning.
Yeah,
and there's someone that I literally don't remember.
I don't remember you taking photos at all.
No, a lot of them weren't by me.
Right,
but they were on my phone.
Oh,
so I was obviously just throwing it around and saying, "Take photos, everyone."
Yeah,
so, that was fun.
No, we had a good time, didn't we? It was nice.
It was a lovely day. Weather was beautiful. Venue was nice. Food was good.
Yes.
Food was great. Food was really good.
What did you have?
I had steak.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, I had the pork belly.
So did I.
The pork belly was good. Kind of wish I would have had the steak though.
Yeah. No, I mean, I always want a steak. I love a steak.
Well, I'm not a huge fan of like fatty foods. So why I ordered the pork
belly.
I gotta be honest, I don't remember ordering the pork belly.
Yeah.
But it was going around the table. And do you know, like when you're one of the last ones to be giving you food,
just give me something.
Can't remember what you've ordered, and I'm like, I'll take that.
I had a terrible moment of someone came, excuse me, are you David? He's like, yeah. There's been some sort of mistake. And I thought, I'm not going to get anything. It's like,
you're not meant to be here.
You're down twice for the chicken and the pork.
Oh, God.
But I had to make the decision at that time. So I went for the chicken. I think it was the right call.
Yeah.
It did look really good.
The only thing I did miss out on were the bacon sandwiches later in the evening.
Oh
yeah, they were top. Yeah.
I think I had about 3.
Yeah.
Oh, God, did you actually?
Yeah. But I was like, at that point, I was a bit. I needed the carbs in me to balance out the lovely alcohol.
That's when the shots were coming out as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was a bad idea.
Yeah.
But no one stopped me.
No.
How many did you have of those?
It's not for us to do that.
I don't know. I don't remember. I remember that tray coming round, and I remember the. What was the milky one?
Tequila Rose.
Yeah, I love that.
That is the worst drink in the world.
But, no, tequila is the...
Tequila Rose is diabolical.
It's easy to
lovely.
drink. Yeah.
It's not like milk.
It's just
It's
like...
literally nothing like
It's
milk.
like strawberry
When was the
milk.
last time you walked past a cow, or a goat, or anything else that lactates, and they were squirting out tequila? When was the last time that ever happened?
Well, that was
yeah.
The last time I had tequila rosé was at Christmas a few years ago, and I lost my wallet. And I woke up, and this was like Christmas Eve, and I woke up the next day, and the maximum you could spend on the card at that point, I think it was 20, I want to say, or 40. I can't remember. But it was like someone had found it. I'm presuming just someone had picked it off the street. And they'd gone to 3 different off licenses, spent like 39 quid, just under the minimum what you could have.
On the contact list?
Yeah, on the contact list until my card company said, why is Pete out on Christmas Day buying bottles of vodka?
Yeah.
So yeah, that was last time I had tequila rosé, which is the worst drink in the world.
Okay.
So that's the first takeaway from today's podcast. The second takeaway is if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, if you're watching this with your own eyes, then why on earth not? Shame. Ringing the shame bell at you. But if you haven't and you fancy it, why not give it a go? If you are listening through your favorite podcast provider and you haven't seen us on YouTube, go over there. We're also on all the social media platforms, and we also have a Discord group in the description below. We really are trying to surround you in the bullhead formation. I think that's everything out of the way.
That was very good.
That's very nice.
Okay,
Very
very good. As far as other news that we've got while Mick is away enjoying his honeymoon, we have the Head Pro series continuing. We are now 4 in.
Yeah.
And oh my God, we've got one which literally came out yesterday, and we've got one more to go.
Yeah, and that's it.
Crazy. That's like 5 weeks of Head Pro, and the feedback has been absolutely brilliant so far. This year was a bit of a, not a test, but it was a proof of concept to see if we could do it over that time period of a week, get it all released, and then hit a certain number of views and all the rest of it. And so far, I think it's gone pretty well. So I probably will carry on next year. But that's David's decision.
Yeah, well,
That's part of the audit.
Right,
It begins. Here we go.
there we go. I'm, like, what do we think? Is this something that we should take on the road? Is this something we should like take to the US? In which case, which state do you think would have the best crowd for something like this?
Surely like a New Jersey, would it? Like a New Jersey or a Texas or something.
The Beth Page back black
exactly,
Head Pro
yeah.
wants to. We'll give it a little test run in the Ryder Cup and see what happens.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I've no idea. Like everything that we've done in the UK, we kind of know what the vibe and the feeling will be. I think going to like a US country club, I don't know. I have no idea.
No.
Because you don't know like the membership sort of status.
Yeah,
of it, yeah.
Well, would you want to have one of those like elite old school courses, or would you want like a muni? Somewhere that maybe it's going to get maybe the standard's not going to be quite as good, but it's going to be like draw a bigger crowd, be a bit more rowdy.
That's the first takeaway from today's podcast. David hates American municipal courses. I didn't know that.
Standard will be poor.
Yeah, wow. Standard of these courses is diabolical I hear in the States. Didn't know that. I'm not sure. I think if we went to, let's say, someone like a Pinehurst, for example, that's like a venue where we could obviously get one of the professionals, but also a lot of people could come watch. They know where it is, if that makes sense. Like if we went to a country club in upstate New York, I don't know.
Yeah.
I
don't know where the Peter Finch sort of US audience is located as either. Like where is a good
Tucson, Arizona. All there.
Yeah. Okay. That's fine. I'll go back to Arizona. That's good. That's a good place to go.
Yeah. So I don't know. I've absolutely no idea, and it's just so big.
Yeah, it's mad. Yeah.
In case you haven't noticed, by the way,
yeah.
America, big place.
It's quite big.
So yeah,
That would be quite the road trip if we did take it over there.
all 50 states.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Every day.
Shotgun Hawaii.
50 in a
Yeah.
row. Yeah, top of tail with Alaska and Hawaii.
Yeah.
Well,
Just
the
get an RV.
Buster Jack did that where they played every state for like 52 weeks. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, no, it was really nice.
Yeah, so it can be done. So that's,
Listen, there's no excuses.
Yeah.
I know it can be done. We'll figure it out. I'm thinking Australia. But next up,
Wow. It's another big place.
coming this week, it is.
But only a little bit
there's
of it.
nothing in the middle.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but what if we want to go from like, what are the sides like Perth and then Melbourne? Are they the two different sides?
I'm not sure.
I'm
Never
not
been
sure.
there. All I know is in the middle, a lot of wilderness,
Yeah,
a lot of
yeah,
desert. I think you just fly.
The outback.
Yeah. Or we could cycle across it.
Wow.
We're not doing that. Also this week, we have the Manchester Open, talking about a dry desert landscape. It was held at Didsbury Golf Club, which has been, we've picked on Didsbury quite a bit, but I think overall, course was in really good condition. And I played some really good golf. It's a 36-hole video. Please stay tuned for the second round and specifically the back nine of the second round. Things happen.
You just did it for attention, didn't you?
honestly, I just got onto that back nine and thought, you know what, stuff it.
Yeah.
Let's give the people what they asked for. There is everything in that, absolutely everything. So make sure that you check that out. And it's probably my last comp of the year until realistically
Official
comp, yeah. But as far as like a stroke play pro event, don't know.
Yeah.
Like probably March next year.
Yeah.
Unless
the PGA accredited competition, basically. Yeah.
And even they're going to be lesser next year as well. So I don't really know. There's a big controversy at the PGA Tour.
I was going to say, isn't there rumours of some kind of uprising that's going to...
So. It's just like the amount of comps available to play in is going to go down next year. And the counties specifically seem to have been kind of not... Gutted isn't the right word, but there's going to be less local events. Right. And it's going to be more wider-reaching events, which more pros can play in, but there's going to be less of them as well. I don't really know what's going on, but my PGA subs are up this month, so I need to pay.
Oh.
How much? Like £500 now.
Wow.
Or it's like 485 or something.
So what does that mean for the Quest mini-series?
Don't know.
Oh, wow.
Well, you have to be a pro, don't you? Like if you want
to play in the PGA events. But if there's going to be less PGA events...
So it sounds like you're paying more for less comps. Is that the...
Paying more for less comps, but also... Like apart from the PGA comps, I don't really use the PGA for anything. Yeah. Another thing we could do, like apart from like employing PGA pros, or I'm not going actively into say golf clubs and looking for jobs, so it's not like my qualification bars me from doing anything in what we're doing in YouTube. So yeah, I don't know. Decisions to be made.
Interesting.
But it always comes around to this every year, so I don't know. We'll see. Also. Quick shout out. So the Korn Ferry Tour, which is the secondary tour in the States, you'd say, the one under the PGA Tour, they had their final qualifying. So 30 professionals qualified through onto the PGA Tour next year. David, have you got a stat for us?
I thought you were going to ask me to name them all.
No, do that. I want to see that.
I want to know them all. There was one guy who qualified who we'll talk about a little bit. What was the fact on the press release you got hit with this morning?
I think 24 of the 30 play Pro V1X.
There you go.
And the other 6 use
also,
Pinnacle Golf.
I'm pretty sure Tyrrell did as well. I think Celine Boutier, who won this week, did as well. So
big week for
there
the
you go.
Pro V1X.
So I think what we need,
which I'm glad because it was a real struggling golf ball that was not doing very well.
All we need to know, like when David burst in and said, "Can I be on the podcast?"
Yeah.
Do you think he might have had a brown envelope under the door? David, just put information on for everyone else.
Yeah, just
interesting.
It's like
there's a couple hundred.
Titleist, literally the only people who will have me on their mailing list at this point.
If you come in tomorrow,
if
you come in tomorrow like with a new cardigan, then we'll know. New cashmere cardigan.
There we go.
Unbelievable. Yeah. So, just so everybody knows, we aren't for sale, unless. It's a lot of money, and then obviously we can be bought.
Yeah.
Everyone has their price.
Yeah. You're right. God, you're right.
Let's divvy that up.
Oh, God, you're absolutely right. Of all the people who qualified, there's one person I do want to talk about, Karl Vilips. Do you know Karl?
Yeah.
I used to watch him.
Yes, but not on personal terms, no.
So when I started making YouTube videos, there was this. I think it was his dad who was doing most of it. But Karl Vilips, Koala Karl. From down under. Yeah, he was making videos. A lot of it was just little bits and bobs. It wasn't like doing YouTube as such. But I had a little bit of chat to him ages and ages ago about doing something potentially. And anyway, he's a very, very good golfer. But because he's documented and his dad's documented everything on YouTube, you can literally see from when he was about this big up until now. Which just qualified for PGA Tour.
That's cool.
He's like a proper YouTube golfer who's got to that top level.
Yeah, it's very, very cool. Because I remember watching him because he was playing in like the US Kids. What's the big like the big junior one? It's like the US Kids Tour or something like that. And I remember watching it. It was great. I enjoyed the videos. They were good fun.
Does it make you feel old though? Do you feel like you've seen him as a little sprog now?
No, not so much, But I do get what you mean.
Yeah.
It kind of makes me feel quite, I don't know, quite happy that someone has gone through, because obviously at the moment we've seen on YouTube, we've seen like people who are, what's the word? Like me, professionals, people who've been in the game a while who then went to YouTube. We've seen like tour pros who are on tour who've then gone onto YouTube. But there's not many people who've started like doing YouTube as a kid and then risen up and then got to the tour.
Yeah.
And that's going to be like the next, hopefully the next wave.
That's definitely going to happen, isn't it, for sure?
Yeah. It's a lot of pressure as well, like being able to go through and qualify for that, because otherwise it's a very, very public failure.
Yeah.
So congrats on realizing a long, long time dream.
Yeah.
Do you know how old he is? Does anyone know? I'm trying to like think how, if he's sort of my age. Or
He's going to be early 20s now.
Yeah, Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
But he's still a baby.
Yeah.
He's still a little
He
baby.
is.
The Sanderson Farms on the PGA Tour.
Cool.
Yeah, cool. The only thing I'd say about the Sanderson Farms is it's got a really cool trophy.
Yeah.
It's got like a cockerel.
I think if you're gonna be kind of one of these lower end PGA Tour events, you've got to have a peacock. I guess if it's you need your your thing to.
It's just a bit of a weird. It's just a bit of a weird time for like golf. Like, this is why the DP World Tour in the last kind of few weeks has been more of the main talking points, because it's had more of the bigger players. It's got guys coming over from LIV, which we'll get into in a bit, but it's also now coming into its own because the PGA Tour has not stopped, but it's in the fall series, where kind of everyone knows that it's the players who need the points more, who want to make the money, who might not get in the signature events.
Yeah,
they can start to make a bit of cash in this kind of time of year. So it's a bit of a weird kind of dynamic, weird time.
Weren't you saying that in this fall swing that the Europeans can't get points for the Ryder Cup? Is that right? So that's why it's just irrelevant to them to play.
Which again is just like why at this moment the DP World can like turn the screw that they have to turn is quite small. But at least at this time of the year, by doing something like what they've done in the fall series, where European players still would want to play, the money is still good. DP World has said, okay, for the fall series event of the PGA Tour, you cannot accrue any ranking points for the Ryder Cup, which then suddenly pulls everyone back to the DP World Tour, and they have a series of events running which are actually really good as well.
Not David Skins though. He went and
he almost started 59, didn't he? Yeah. David Skins, like, where did he come from?
There's a lot of good players out there that just
and he's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
Like his whole is it raison d'etre at the moment is he wants to get himself in a position where he's qualifying for Champions Tour.
Yeah.
He said that like a few years ago when he was leading the players, I think it was.
I thought you were going to say get him in a position to get to Bethpage then.
Just imagine.
No, I don't want to.
A rookie at 48.
Yeah.
David Skins
The story would be great.
Yeah.
It would be, yeah. What's your problem about Dave?
I've got no problem with it. I just think he doesn't hit it far enough.
God, I'll tell you what, we've got some...
Especially for Bethpage.
Yeah.
We've got some, that's a Muni as well.
I know.
David,
That is a Muni. That is a
Terrible
Muni.
standard.
Chopper's paradise.
Talk about paradise. We are off to France straight after this podcast. I don't know. I mean, I don't think anyone's going to be able to get in, Andy. So we might as well tell everyone where we go. So we're going to Le Bourd in France, which is I don't know how to describe it. It's
And
like
not undersell it.
Yeah,
It's
it's just an ultra exclusive, unbelievable golfing estate. It's got 3 courses, and it's got just everything about it looks unbelievably posh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're going.
Hey up.
Hey up,
The orders are
Hey
here.
up, cocker. So I don't know.
Get some escargot.
Escargot.
Oh yeah, I've never had snails before.
Really?
No, never.
Honestly, I've had snails before, and I don't mind them, but it's
Not very nice.
no, it's fine. But the way that they're prepared with so much garlic and so much butter.
Oh,
You're having like a chewy slab of garlic butter. So it's fine. It's absolutely fine. So yeah, S-Car go on the go. And then we're off to the States after that as well, which we'll get into I've messaged everyone to see if we can start talking about this yet.
Okay.
But that was this morning, obviously. That
We haven't had right.
Once we get confirmation.
They'll be sleeping right now. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Or maybe they'll be so excited they can't sleep.
Maybe.
You never know. Right, so on to the Alfred Dunhill. Now, the world of golf came together a little bit as far as professional golf. The ongoing conversations and the ongoing arguments and legal wranglings in the world of men's professional golf it's been a tough watch over the past 18 months. You got the LIV Golf Tour, you got the PGA Tour. They hated each other, and then PIF and LIV basically said to the PGA Tour, we will give you a gazillion pounds if you want to partner. And PGA Tour said, okay. But now they've already got investment. It's Fenway they invested.
Yep.
Fenway Sports Group invested in the PGA Tour. So they've got capital going into the next few seasons to fund prize funds. And now LIV is still in that conversation. It seems to be a lot more friendlier. We had Jay Monahan and Yasser Rumayyan playing together, who's the LIV boss, effectively. And they all seem to be best friends.
Yeah, very chummy. Very chummy.
Very, very chummy. So there is a chance that we have the world of golf really starting to come together into a new format, which is, as of yet, undefined. Because it's probably not going to be LIV, and it's probably not going to be the PGA Tour as we know it, and no one knows what's happening with the European Tour. So,
no, it was just not. Again, it's one of those things where we've always said, usually in the build up to a major, of like, oh, it's really nice to look forward to see Brooks Koepka, Tyrrell Hatton now, Jon Rahm back competing again as a group against the Rory McIlroys, the Scotty Schefflers, etc. And obviously this event has a hold on a professional golfer more so than any other event, because it gets them to play one of, well, not necessarily the greatest golf course in the world, but the most historic, the most memorable to a lot of players. Brooks Koepka, namely, his favourite course in St Andrews. Yeah. And then, without bypassing Kings Barnes or Carnoustie, which are also two very, very good golf courses. I enjoyed the event. I went into it looking forward to seeing the golf courses, seeing them play. Tommy does really well around here, so I was always looking forward to that. Well done on your third place finish, Tommy Fleetwood. But then David kind of brought me back down a little bit by some comments he made about the event, because he's not a fan. And maybe that's why he wants to be here. I don't know.
Do you know why?
Why?
Because the old course is Muni.
Yeah, that'll be it.
I can't take that away.
No, you're not super keen on it, are you?
No, I think it doesn't help that the event always lands on my birthday as well. So every time I've been like, oh, do you know what? I'm gonna celebrate by like playing one of these courses. Not happening.
Get off. But I don't want to play.
So, but like we have this embarrassment of golfing riches here, and it should equate to a really, really good event, but it just ends up being a really slow, really dull, really watered down version of what it could be. And like I still think that like there's potential there, but you end up with these wide open golf courses, especially the old, and really, really easy pin positions because you don't want to embarrass the CEO of whoever it might be.
Yeah.
And you just end up with very, very vanilla golf on what really aren't very vanilla golf courses, in my opinion.
I think it always does surprise just how low the scoring is. These aren't easy courses.
No.
Like Carnoustie notoriously is difficult. Kings Barnes, by the looks of it, I've not played it, but it might be the easiest golf course in the world, judging by the scores that these lads are having.
Unbelievable.
I think from...
Well, the old course as well.
Yeah, honestly, the scoring is way lower than it should be at those courses. So it kind of turns into just a bit of a birdie fest. And like David said, I think it is just so, the amateurs can get around.
Yeah.
But even so, it's a long round.
Yeah. Well, I can imagine it's a long 3 days doing all of that.
Well, one of my favourite events on the PGA Tour is the Pebble Beach, but that's a pro-am as well. So you do get a similar thing. I know they go to, is it Spyglass they go to? I think that
Cypress Point.
It used to be Spyglass as well, but now I think it's just the two courses. But it's the same thing. It's like it's great to experience it, but you would really like to see pebble in like proper tournament brutal conditions, like something a bit more US Open like. And it's a little bit of a slap in the face to see Carnoustie just kind of lie down and like watch whoever it might be go 2 or 3 under.
I think as a viewer standpoint as well, like obviously you watch, you turn it over, you see them play good golf. Obviously he still takes very impressive golf. Tyrrell can't shoot 11 under and around the old course and not play pretty good golf. But when you're watching it on the telly and all you really have to go off is a kind of sort of colour key of, that you jump
courses,
you jump to a hole and you're like, is that's Carnoustie, right? Okay, right, okay. And but by the time you've worked out what hole it is, they've moved to another one.
Yeah, well, I think they've probably it's like a huge event, so they've got more cameramen down there. But the fact that like they're having to spread themselves over 3 courses means that you probably have fewer cameramen than you would adequately need to cover an event.
Yeah.
So you never really get, because the courses look similar enough at a glance from far away, that you don't really get, like over the course of a normal tournament, you kind of build up your knowledge and you're like, 16's playing really hard this week, or you cannot miss it left on 11 or whatever it would be. If you're kind of jumping between 3 different courses, it's always a little bit...
Yeah, you have no time to build that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, it was a really good event.
I tell you what, if you're an amateur, you must be like, licking your lips.
What a dream,
It's
isn't
an unbelievable event.
It's you've made it.
Yeah, exactly.
As an amateur.
Exactly right.
Like, you've done something very right or very wrong.
Yeah.
And again, like Gareth Bale was there, like he's just enjoying retirement, can I just say. He is literally set for life now. Like, he's set for life anyway, but like he's just going to be at every single golf event possible.
Oh yeah, from a golfing standpoint,
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. Like he's he's done it. Well, did you also see that a dog stole Bale's ball?
Yeah, because that was at Carnoustie.
Yeah.
That massive flag on the first, I'll never forget that all. But Carnoustie was literally, it was full of dogs.
Yeah.
Literally full of them. I don't know if this was a policy just for Carnoustie or it was the same at Kings Barnes and the Old Course. But Carnoustie was just full of dogs.
Yeah.
That sounds like your dream.
Absolutely amazing. I follow, obviously, Iona Stevens on Instagram, and literally her whole Instagram was just like pictures of dogs. And you could see, like, when the camera panned up, a player hit a shot, and then in the background, just saw like 20 golden retrievers just like walking around. I'm actually surprised it was only the one dog that got onto the course. And you could hear the mixture of reactions as soon as it ran onto the green to go get Bale's ball. So this dog was obviously sitting by Bale. He's hit, dog sees ball, ball go forward, dog chase
dog
ball.
Get ball.
Yeah, dog bring ball back. So it's like,
hit again.
You can see it all. Like all his playing partners are laughing. I presume it's the owner that you can just hear in like the background of the clip. And it's just like, oh no,
Yeah.
no, Fanta, no. And then like goes and rubs the ball, like no, and then like sprints back, and the guy's like filming the clips, just absolutely wetting himself. In that respect, by the way, if this ever happens to you, you can just get the ball and replace it at the nearest point where you think it came to rest.
Yeah. I've had a seagull.
Just in case you were worried.
I've had a seagull take a ball before, and you had to you just put the ball kind of like where you roughly think it is. Obviously, you might move it, a couple of feet closer, but but yeah.
Wow. Would you do that?
Well, it wasn't in the comp. It was just like it was just a
Okay.
But it was on the green, and then this seagull took it.
It was 40 yards on the fairway, and
then it was on the green.
It was plugged in the bunker.
I think that's one point of the event I think doesn't need to change.
What, the dogs?
More dogs.
More. Right, okay.
It's the one thing, like how the DP World can really kind of elevate itself to the next level. Just more animals.
Yeah.
Just bring everything in. Like, do you know when they go down to South Africa?
Yeah.
And like do Leopard Creek?
Yeah.
And all like the big five you can see kind of down on the valley. Just build them a road. Like, let them on the course.
Let them come.
Just let them come. Why not? Like, each group, let them have a ranger with a trank gun. Yeah, we don't want anyone being eaten, obviously. But like, how good would it be? Like, I've just got to wait 5 minutes on this tee because there's a bull elephant.
Yeah, we don't want to
facing us down.
Chubb situation.
Yeah, exactly. I think have giraffes. Just, I think we should make it happen.
each course it's an opportunity for the country to like represent its wildlife.
You have to have like every country has like national animal.
Yeah,
Like, what
yeah,
would you
yeah.
call it?
They have to patrol the course.
Although, isn't the national animal of Scotland the unicorn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
So
Yeah.
just get some.
Yeah, which is why you wouldn't actually see them because everybody knows they're invisible. But that's why you wouldn't be able to see them at the DP World events in Scotland. But
No.
they'd be there.
I'd still want to see them do their best, like attempt to just create a unicorn, just to get.
The unicorn alarm, I knew it.
We said the name too many times.
Honestly, we're going to hear like a scratching at the door in a minute. Well, we're going to be back after this unscheduled break. And we are back, all accounted for, which is great news. It was a test.
Yeah.
Every now and again, they do a fire alarm test to make sure everyone can exit the building in an orderly fashion.
Yeah.
So well done, everyone.
We're also just spitting too much flames that they just set it off.
Actually set the alarms off, yeah. Wow.
These guys on the top floor.
So all of that boils down to the DP World Tour, European Tour are absolutely smashing it at the moment with their events. They've had a really, really good run from Wentworth to the Spanish Open last week. The Dunhill, maybe some issues with the format, may need changing going forwards, but overall it's an event that a lot of people watch because they get to see the old course.
Yeah.
And I don't quite understand how it works with LIV players coming over. Mm-hmm. Did they get invited to that event, or are they there via ranking? Because, like Rahm, for example, he's not got his European Tour card.
No, obviously we've been made aware of sort of kind of. I think the DP World Tour have sort of said this is what you need to do to still be able to come and play, and basically that means give us the money that we've fined you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then everything's okay again.
But is that just for the membership?
I think so. Because I still thought that Rahm was in a little bit of a battle. I didn't realise it had sort of quite been settled because obviously now he's played 2 weeks in a row on the DP World Tour.
I'm sure it's invite.
Okay.
I'm sure it's invite.
Okay.
Because Brooks wouldn't have been able to get in that event without an invite as well.
True.
So that's what it must be. But it's just, I don't know, because these fall events in fall, well, it's turning so American, the autumn events on the European Tour are really ramping up now. Again, because of that reason that you get Ryder Cup points, and we are going to some really good courses as well. So we got the French Open.
Yeah, that's next, isn't it?
That's next, yeah.
Which is kind of coming up, and then obviously we're building up into the end of the year for the race to Dubai. So,
but do you guys think it's fair that LIV golfers are gaming the system for the Ryder Cup points?
I think you just do what you have to do.
Yeah.
I don't really have a problem with it any at all because I understand from the side point of they knew what they were getting into when they made that move, and obviously Ryder Cup eligibility was one of those issues that they probably felt that might not happen anymore because of going to LIV. But if they're given an opportunity to do it, why would you not do it? They clearly still want to play in the Ryder Cup. If you get the chance to get some points, then go and get those points.
Yeah. True. It might mean that you've got a bit of a closed shop, though, if you've got these invite-only events and it's just bring who you want. Because if you're, a bit further down the rankings and you're trying to play your way into some of these events that you'll probably get more Ryder Cup points for, all of a sudden, if someone comes along and is invited, all of a sudden you're pushed out of the event and you can no longer play. You can no longer earn yourself a spot on the team.
Yeah, no, very true.
Yeah.
It's definitely, well, obviously we're asking the question, why is it right or not? On a kind of from like a selfish perspective as well, like not even necessarily looking for an American side, but from our side, there are some players that we would lose that are big heavy hitters in Rahm, in Hatton, that I do want to be on the next team.
Exactly. You want the Ryder Cup to be as sort of, as good as it can be. That's kind of what we said about the President's Cup a couple of weeks ago, that it probably wasn't as good of an event because they didn't have
the LIV guys.
Some of the LIV guys. So any way to get every single best player from each side, from the American side, from the European side, I'm all ears for. So
yeah, no, you're right. The President's Cup was we all knew what the result was going to be prior because the international team had been gutted of maybe 4 or 5 of their best players.
Yeah, definitely.
So it was always going to happen. And can you imagine, like, currently a European Ryder Cup team without John Rahm, for example?
Yeah.
It just doesn't really make sense. He's literally one of the best players in the world, one of the best European players. If he wasn't in that team, we would be weaker as a result.
Yeah.
So if there's a way, like I said, he can actually game the system, get these Ryder Cup points and be there on merit, then great.
Yeah, I think that's on the on merit part is probably the most important. As long as it doesn't feel like it's as David mentioned, sort of you're just being catered to be able to do this kind of thing. Like as long as it's something that is fine, they're doing it in a legal sense. I know there's nothing necessarily breaking the law in anything that's happening, but that in terms of the golfing scape, it's legal, and making sure that, like as Kieran says as well, getting all these guys that are the best players in the world on one golf course to compete in a European versus American fixture, I think is very important. Not just for the general spectator, but just also for the Ryder Cup. Just because, not that it necessarily would happen, but I don't want to see it go a similar way that the President's Cup might go, because America always is going to have a big pool of players that will be playing on the PGA Tour, which will be good golfers, and I don't want to see the European side start to slip away and maybe find that we get the next couple of years it's going to be a harder test.
Yeah.
The whole point of Ryder Cups, the whole point of the Ryder Cup, in a sense, is that you have the best players from the States, the best players from Europe, and they are going head to head.
Yeah.
Without that, it becomes less of an event.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really bother me, and it also shows, I think, generally, like how much the anger and heat from the original LIV formation has died down.
Yeah.
Definitely.
If this would have happened just after like LIV was announced and say John Rahm signed really early to LIV, I don't think there'd be quite the same, he's fine, he's just doing it to try and get points. I think there'd be a lot more of a visceral reaction that if this was like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So I think that initial heat has calmed down.
Well, you can even see it by this week. 2 of them playing together. Jay Monahan and Yasai. Like, they're both playing on the same course. Very, very chummy as well. Like, it's surely that's a sign. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if they've done that coincidentally, but you know what I mean. I mean,
it would be an incredible coincidence if they weren't playing together for that reason.
Well, yeah.
But European Tour has literally just turned into Switzerland now. It's trying to be neutral ground, bringing everyone together. Why can't we all be friends? Come meet on our patch.
Yeah.
Like there's no conflicts here. Just have a nice game, have a chat. We got Billy Horschel watching over you, like a paternal grandfather.
And was Rory there as well?
Rory had played one of the days with Jay. I think Anne with Yasir for one day as well.
Yeah. It's interesting with Rory because he's actively he's taking a step back from all that stuff now. So maybe he was just a bit more of a calm balm this time, less shouting.
I don't know. Maybe
I don't think he went up to Yasir. It was like, I hate LIV.
What a tricky little
forfeitter. Do you want help reading that poll?
Before
I do. I hate LIV. I don't think he would have said that.
I don't know. Maybe walking between the 4th tee and the fairway, they might have had a little old by the way. Just to let you know what's going on.
Yes, he was like, I'm going to write a number down. It's going to be a big number.
Yeah.
You let me know what you think.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah. Might have a little chit chat.
That'd have been great, wouldn't it?
I don't think they can go a full 18 holes without having a little, a little something.
A little bit of something.
Yeah.
I've not heard anything of Greg Norman in ages. Where's Greg Norman gone?
I know where he is. He was at the Newcastle game.
They panned to him. He was in a LIV bomber jacket sort of thing, and with a Newcastle United scarf. It was funny. It was very funny. Do you reckon he actually has watched much?
I
football?
don't know.
Do you reckon he's a football fan?
Soccer.
Soccer, yeah.
Probably. I mean, Australia has football.
A different type of football.
Yeah, that's true.
Aussie rules.
Which the trophy which gets presented.
Oh, yeah.
Is it a cockerel?
No.
It's
we had it on
McCullen Trophy, something like that.
Yeah. McLean.
We did some pub quizzes on the way
Okay.
on the way home last
stay
night.
awake.
And that was one of the questions.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, very good indeed. So yeah, I have no issue with it. You know what? Someone does have a big issue with though is Scotland's best golfer, Rob MacIntyre, who absolutely hates the 17th at St Andrews. I will give you a quote. Rob MacIntyre says the 17th at St Andrews should be, in quotations, blown up. Blow it up, said Rob MacIntyre. I don't think there are many worse holes in world golf. I think it's a terrible hole off the back tee. It doesn't need to be modernised to bring excitement. It needs to be a hole you're able to hit a golf shot into, and not one where you just hit it onto the green and try and get up and down. He was basically saying it's pretty much a par 5 off the back tees, which is like 495 yards. However, during the week, Rob also got really angry when Rory hit a ball onto the green.
Yeah.
He went on a big kind of expletive rant. I think it was on the Saturday. I think he might have doubled the last time. Which was, I think he dropped the F-bomb like 7 times in 2 seconds. I don't even know it was physically possible for him to do it. But I don't know. I don't know about that one.
I'll be honest with you. That quote made me love the hole more because I just think of like that's what it's about. And I think for the Open that we had there a couple of years ago, like you just knew there was this like anticipation of like, oh no, they've got to play 17, and and we've seen and we saw one of the greatest memorable up and downs that we've seen in the last 10 years of Opens with Cam Smith's putting. I understand where he's coming from, because as someone who, if I played that hole, obviously I would have probably a terrible time of it. But it's just such a historical, holds so much pedigree, so many memorable moments of a hole, and kind of like a little bit of a, this is Scotland's best golfer, absolutely riding on the back of it. I hate this hole on Scotland's most historic golf course.
Blow it up is wild.
Yeah.
That's, to say that is.
What did he shoot on the final day?
No idea.
Also, did he have a bad day on the 17th?
I'm presuming he must have had a bad stuff. He must have had a bad time.
You don't make a par on there and go, I hate this hole.
He hit the O in the old course.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah.
"Oh."
Doing.
Put a stinger through the spa.
Exactly,
Someone in the
yeah,
jacuzzi
yeah.
had a rude awakening.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure about that. I mean, there's no doubt it is a quirky hole. I mean, you got to hit it over what used to be a railway shed, I'm pretty sure in saying, but over the corner of a hotel, and you've got a long shot left in. You've obviously got the bunker, you've got the road. What I did see actually this time, and I don't know if you guys noticed it as well, like so many people taking it miles left and hitting it onto the second fairway or the rough.
Well, even that space is just easy.
Which kind of let you hit a little bit more at an angle into the green. You aim left of the bunker, and then if you miss left of the bunker, you were on the 18th tee, or you had this big wide patch where you could try and get up and down from. So I kind of understand where he was getting on. Like if you really want to play that hole, how it should be played in very much quotation marks, because you can play a hole however you want. There needs to be that thick rough up the left-hand side to take that option out of play,
which is be very anti St Andrews Old Course, because left is just your friend the whole time.
Oh, so. Yeah. If you go to St Andrews with a right-hander with a hook, you're going to do well.
What would you do then to make if you made changes to that hole? What would you do? Do you think it just needs to be shortened, or do you think they need to? I don't know. What's the best times of people playing the road hole is when you get a good drive away down the fairway. You've got to take on the hotel, but you've got to have a club which is going to not necessitate you going at the pin, but it's going to be tempting. Like you want to be able to hit a shot and think, I've got 180 here. I reckon I could get a 7-iron like back to that pin, or should I hit it to the centre of the green? Or what do I do? Yeah,
like the option really when it's that far off the back is like a few of the guys are doing, hitting it miles left, hitting it left of the green, trying to get up and down, treating it as like a little par 5. So it maybe takes some of the excitement, some of the challenge out of, because the whole point of the road hole is you want people to be in the bunker or on the road. If they hit a bad shot.
Sorry.
No, after you, man.
As someone that's walked it so many times, what's your view on it?
Well, I mean, is Bobby fades it left-handed, right? It goes right to left.
Yeah.
I mean, he can work it both ways. He's quite good.
Yeah. But I guess like from the back tees, like the hotel is literally right there. Like he cannot like start it over towards the right, because that is literally, it's not just the hotel, but they've got this big fence up as well, and I'm assuming they've probably got like grandstands up that way as well. So they physically can't like take it right enough to get over everything. So I imagine if he shaped it the other way, if he drew it, then that would be a bit different. But it plays 4.5 like every Open pretty much anyways. So I don't think it really needs to be as far back as it is. I think if you did move it slightly further forward, you'd have people taking on the right hand side a little bit more, bouncing it off the hotel maybe.
Is it always playing so hard because of that sort of the green sort of structure of just like getting up and down? Like, is it always?
I think that bunker is like the best example of like perfect bunker positioning it just plays in every approach that you can possibly hit on that green. And obviously the contours and the way it builds up around that green obviously plays a lot of into it. But I think that to me, that's what is the hard part. Obviously the drive is still a difficult shot. You're blinded. You still got to hit a good shot. But it's that second shot hitting into that green, like, and especially when that pin they put on the 4th day at St Andrews, when they basically just put it right behind the bunker. Yeah. And you have that pin then they put further back in the green. When you kind of see, because when you take that pin into account, obviously you can go long. You know, you can say you bring in that 18th tee box and you take it further than that. So that, you know, even the pin positioning on that hole maybe, but then I don't want to. We're just talking about making holes easier again, and it's like I don't want to. That's the beauty. There should be holes on a golf course which you get onto, which almost sometimes a bogey is a good score. I'm very much anti against what he's saying about changing it and blowing it up.
Are you anti 17th hole sentiment?
Yeah,
got you.
Yeah, so no, I'm double anti his on the 17th for sure. But obviously he's not a big fan. But what would you say are your favourite holes in golf? Which is the best hole for you in the world? I
mean, we've literally just been talking about it.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah. I mean, everything that you've just said there, it it stands up against the test of time. It is such a pure challenge. The 17th at the Old Course at St Andrews, it has like you're beginning to like get back into the town, and like there's people at the Jigger Inn, and you can see the Swilcan Bridge. It has the history. It has the challenge. It winds Bobby MacIntyre up, which gives it an extra.
Is that a bonus now?
Extra bit of sauce for me.
What do you reckon? Yours?
Ooh, I'm always a big fan of a short par 3. I think the short par 3 is just kind of like been a dying art that doesn't need to be. Like there's so many good holes. I don't want to say the 12th. I don't want to say Augusta. I don't want to say the 5th at Pebble. I don't want to pick like these really obvious ones. I'm trying to be a bit more. You put me on. I want to think about it a bit more.
Mine would be the postage stamp. 8 for the postage stamp.
Yeah. No, that's a good. No, that's a very good. Yeah, very good hole.
Yeah, I mean that's what I was going to go for as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're talking like pro golf, open golf. Like there are other holes individually around the world which I absolutely love, but for me in pro events, the postage stamp just gives again something very different, something very unique. For me, it's always got to be a par 3. I don't know why.
Yeah, I always think par 3
in my head because it's almost like a little closed event. It's one shot, everything's there in front of you. For me, I think it's postage.
That par 3 on the 8th at Pinehurst number 2. Is it 8th or is it the 9th? The really short one.
The 9th.
The 9th, yeah.
9th. Yeah, that was also that would be up there.
That was a good hole.
Yeah, that would be up there for me.
I'm trying to think what other par 3s have we played that have been really the 16th at Adair.
First at Didsbury.
18th at Didsbury.
Very true.
Yeah. Didn't think they would be brought up, but check those videos out. Yeah, the 16th at Adair over the water when you've got the big Gothic mansion behind you.
Yeah,
that's a nice one. I'm looking forward to seeing that in 2027 for the Ryder Cup.
Yeah, the 18th at Adair is pretty sick as well.
Also, good finishing holes for when it should be good for when the Ryder Cup goes there.
There's a lot of holes in it. There's a lot.
There's a lot of golf holes.
Yeah. It depends as well because a lot of it is based on your personal memories of those spots, like things that you remember seeing. Like for me, I think it's the 8th. If it was like my personal favourite, then it probably wouldn't be the 17th, but it'd be the 18th at St Andrews.
Yeah,
because it's just the feelings that you get every time you walk down that hole are so unique. Yeah, you finishing in the town, and you get to see. Old Tom Morris's statue now. Do you see they open that?
No.
So Tom Morris has got a statue now, like almost like think if you're looking at the 18th, you got the Old Course Clubhouse just on the left, you've got the green on the right. His statue is like up on the hill behind the green over the road. and he's like looking down the 18th in the road.
Cool.
There you go. It's quite a good statue, actually. Do you know when modern statues?
Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Literally thinking that.
And like sometimes they give the artist or the sculptor
A little bit too much scope.
whatever statue
Yeah,
maker
yeah.
sculpt, and they say, we're going to do old Tom Morris, and you do whatever you want, and it comes back as like a 4D rendering of him or something. I don't know. But this one is just like a proper classic.
Good.
That's old Tom Morris.
Nice.
Looking down the hole. Solid.
Yeah, no, you make a good point. I think there's different ways you can look at it. Obviously, say if it's something that holds, you might have had a hole in one on the hole, and it's your favourite hole because that's what
Nothing
it
wrong
does.
with that. Yeah.
No, there isn't. But then also there's just the classics of like the holes we've mentioned, really.
So we're going to have to ask you to get off the fence at this point. Jake,
Yeah, I don't know.
And pick one.
I think I know what yours could be.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, please enlighten me.
17th at Prestwick.
Okay, yeah. No.
Alps?
Yeah, the
I think
Alps.
it's
Yeah, Himalayas.
Himalayas, that's it.
Or the Alps.
No, I think it is the Alps.
It's a mountain range.
It is a
Yeah,
mountain range.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a very good. But then that comes back to hitting a really good golf shot. I did birdie that.
Cool,
hole, yeah.
cool
Oh, there
hole
you
there.
go.
It's
Very cool
It's a cool
hole. Not to the anti blind shot fan, but I'm okay with it. I don't mind.
Okay, so you're picking 17.
I'll go.
Bear in mind, this is the tattoo that we're going to have to get.
Yeah, no, I think that hole could work. I'll do 17.
17. That's why I wanted par 3 as well, because it's like a small tattoo.
That's true.
Like if you're getting quite a long...
And you could just get the green, and you would
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You don't need the.
Like David...
David's got all
David's
sorts.
got really a 3-shot par 4
Yeah.
that he's
Yeah.
got to go through.
But
like,
he's saying like he's identified different like things that are on that. So he's going to have the jigger there.
Yeah.
He's going to have the hotel.
I need the wall. I need
Yeah.
the road.
it's going to be like a story. It's like a comic book strip. Like we can just have
on
the
your back.
picture.
It's like
on your back.
Bobby MacIntyre in the long rough crying.
Yeah.
Oh, I tell you what, we can have it like that, David.
Oh, there we go.
Like a top-down view. Would that be okay?
Yeah, that'll be fine.
You got the start. You got the end of it. Just creeping in right there at the top. We're looking at a painting of the 18th and the 1st at St Andrews for those who are not watching on YouTube.
What a
Oh,
hole.
look, I'd be very tempted to get the 9th at Lofferton as well, just so that Pete has to look at it
Yeah.
all the time.
Oh, ninth I'm fine with. The 7th,
Really?
we'd be having arguments. Can that be my least favourite hole in the world?
Not the 18th at the Earth.
No, because that's in a category of its own. As far as, talk about Greg Norman, as far as awful holes go,
Yeah.
that's by far the worst.
Yeah. Well, I don't agree with you, but I understand where the irritation comes from.
It's the worst hole. It's literally the worst hole in the world.
Yeah. I don't know.
If how Rob MacIntyre can say that is the worst hole in pro golf, the 17th, when you've got the 18th on the Earth course at Jumeirah, just waiting there.
Yeah. And you get to see it all over again in a couple of weeks.
That should be blown up.
It looks like it has.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Anyway, I'm sure it's fine for other people. It's just not my cup of tea.
No.
Right, guys, I think we've bolted through everything that we need to there. Me and Kieran are off to the airport. We are picking up Sam and we are flying off to lovely France. Although looking at the forecast, it might not be that great. Yeah. Hopefully we will get away with it and produce the content which is going to knock your socks off. Big thank you to Jacob, to Kieran and to David for kind of coming in. Still suspicious. I'm still
waiting for something.
I'm still waiting for something to
Still
drop.
not made any notes.
I don't know, is that a good sign or a bad sign?
I'm going to take it as a positive.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Have you, so you've nothing actually just to say? You just wanted to come on a general chat?
No, I was a bit lonely in the room by myself.
Okay, that's fine. Because we were getting really scared.
Okay.
Because when Kieran walked back in and said, David really wants to be on the podcast. I was like, okay, that's fine. Why? So I don't know. So I kind of thought you were going to come in with like a mandate.
Why? What was your theory?
I don't know, like you were going to announce you're running for local councillor or something.
Oh,
Okay.
I could see it though.
And I'd like to put my manifesto forward.
There we go. I've got it right here. That was the
There's
plan.
nothing on it.
I'm an open book.
Well, if anyone from the Monster Raving Loony Party wants to have me, I'm all ears.
Wow,
I'm sure they're
interesting.
taking it on whoever wants to join at this point.
Yeah.
What are you trying to say? You think David's not a credible candidate?
No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying the Monster Raving Loony Party probably don't have tons of councillors available.
How dare you?
It's a natural fit.
Yeah.
How dare you discredit my partners at the MLP?
Hey, I love the idea of the 99p coin. That's all I'm saying.
Is that a natural thing?
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
That's one of their like manifesto things.
What a great idea.
Yeah, I know.
That's a great idea. Yeah.
Oh, that'll be £1.99.
Yeah.
Okay, there's your 99p coin.
Yeah.
I mean, not that we use coins anymore, but you know.
Do you know when there are countries in such dire straits? Like, we think that's a good idea.
It is a good idea.
It's a cool idea. I like that.
Roll back the pound.
Yeah.
What a shame. All right, guys, we'll see you next time.
See ya.
So, yeah.